We are talking absolute value equations here. And I think now I'm getting my algebra 1 and you guys mixed up. So sorry if I'm on like repeat here. But absolute value is always a distance from 0, right? How far you are from 0. So if the absolute value of x is 7, that means x is either -7 or 7, right? Whatever you're plugging in for x could be a -7 or a +7 because it always will become the positive because it's a distance away from 0, okay? So we're going to do a few absolute value problems, starting with if there's just a variable on one side. Okay, example 1. Let's say we have the absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 5. Does anyone remember how you do this from Algebra 1?
Don't you just do it when you take absolute value?
No. You need a negative on the other side. Okay, so here's the deal. Your job in these problems is to isolate, get by itself, the absolute value. Once you do that, you're going to write two equations. One where it's equal to the positive and one where it's equal to the negative, because whatever comes inside of absolute value can either be the positive or negative of your answer, right? So here's what you're going to do. This one, absolute value, is isolated already. There is nothing outside of the absolute value on the left-hand side of that equation. So you don't have to isolate anything. It has been isolated for you. You just have to write the two equations. And your two equations then are exactly how you see it and make it negative. Okay, so 2x minus 1 equals 5 and 2x minus 1 equals -5. Because whatever those come out to, I can put it in here. And when we then take the absolute value at the end, it will be the right number. Okay, so simplify this. We go plus 1, so 2x equals 6, divide by 2, so x is 3. Okay, then the other one, we're going to do plus 1, so 2x equals -4, divide by 2, so x equals -2. Okay, so your answer is x equals 3 or x equals -2. Now you can always plug it back in to see that that's true, right? If I plug in a 3, 6 minus 1 is 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5. If I plug in a -2, 2 times a -2 is a -4, minus 1 is a -5. When I take the absolute value of a -5, I get 5. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So number 1, isolate the absolute value. Number 2, set up two equations and then solve them. Okay? All right. So what do you do with this? Yes?
Are you going to show us how to isolate the absolute value? We can do a question like that.
Okay, so you need to isolate absolute value. That means the only thing on that side of your problem, on the left side of your problem in this case, should be inside absolute value. Is that the case right now?
No.
No, you need to isolate. So how do we get rid of that 3 and that -1?
You add the 1, distribute the 3.
Don't distribute, okay? You can't distribute into absolute value. That's a good reminder because people will be tempted to do that. So add the 1. We get 3 absolute value x plus 2 equals 9. You divide, okay? So right now you're multiplying. You do the opposite. We're going to divide by 3. So this is 1. You're left with the absolute value of x plus 2 equals 3. Now what do you do?
Write the 2 equations.
Now you write the two equations, okay? The +3 and the -3. So this is going to be x plus 2 equals 3 or x plus 2 equals -3. Does it make sense why we're doing a +3 and a -3?
Yeah.
If we put that in here and we take the absolute value, it's going to become the positive, right? So we want what's inside absolute value to equal the positive or negative of our standalone, okay? Okay, so when we solve this, take away 2, x equals 1, or take away 2, x equals negative 5. Okay, so that is your answer. Questions on that? Do you know how to graph that? Super easy. Here you go. If this is 0, this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here's your options. 1, negative 5. Okay, your graph is just the 2 points because they're equal, not less than or greater than. So no arrows. Okay, good on that?
Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? 5 minus 2, absolute value x plus 9 equals negative 5. What do you do first?
You gotta add the 2 and subdivide the 5.
What do you do first?
You gotta add the 2 first.
No.
You have to go backwards and backwards.
Combine.
I know, backwards of PEMDAS. Right now, this 2 is being multiplied by the x plus 9.
So subtract 5.
To subtract the 5. Okay, so this is 0. Right now, you're left with negative 2. Absolute value x plus 9 equals negative 10. Now what do?
You divide by negative 2.
Divide by the negative 2. So you get absolute value of x plus 9 equals, that would be a positive 5. Now what? 2 equations, right? X plus 9 equals 5, or x plus 9 has to equal negative 5. Notice, as soon as you isolate, as soon as everything on the left side is in the absolute value, that's when you write your 2 equations. Not before, not after. Subtract the 9. So x equals a negative 4, or subtract the 9 here, x equals negative 14. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, how about this one? Absolute value of 2x plus 1 equals negative 12. What do you got?
When you write the other equation.
It's a prank.
2x.
It's a prank. It really is a prank. What's the issue here?
You can't have it.
Right, absolute value can't equal a negative.
Was it no solution?
So it's no solution. Don't even solve it. Don't even set anything up. This is no solution. You cannot have an absolute value that equals a negative. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes it's going to show up where something, absolute value, and then the absolute value is done, minus something or whatever, equals a negative. You can't determine no solution until it's just absolute value on one side, because that negative might go away with all the other stuff, okay? But once your absolute value is isolated, that's when you're gonna work that out. And you'll see, I'll show you some of those at some point in time. Okay. Then, there is something. Good job. Harry Potter? Is extraneous in Harry Potter?
Extraneous solution.
I don't know I don't know Harry Potter. Okay. So an extraneous solution is this. It is derived from an original equation, like the equation you start with, that is not a solution to the original equation. So in other words, you take it, you solve the original equation, and you get this answer. But then when you plug that number back in to check it, it doesn't work. Okay, that's called an extraneous solution. When,
Can you explain that again? That didn't go through my head.
Yes, okay. When you solve an absolute value equation and you get an answer, okay? You get two answers because it's absolute value. If you plug this answer back in and you take the absolute value, it's not going to work. That's called an extraneous solution because there's absolute value and negatives and weird things coming into play. I'm going to show you where this is going to show up. But the key thing is you need to check your answers when you have variables on both sides because that's when it tends to happen, okay? Which is what we're going to do right now with example 2. Okay, so this is when you have variables on both sides. First one. If I have the absolute value of 3x plus 2 equals 4x plus 5. Okay, now this one's a little bit tricky. Stick with me here. We have absolute value isolated, right? What do you do once absolute value is isolated? You write the two equations. Here's the issue. You don't have just a number over there. You have an expression. So you have to do the positive version of that expression and the negative version of that expression. So that's going to look like this. 3x plus 2 equals 4x plus 5. So exactly how you see it without the absolute value. The second one is going to be 3x plus 2 equals the opposite of 4x plus 5. What do you have to do with that negative? Distribute it, okay? So if we solve this first one, take away 3x and take away 5, we end up with, that goes away, 2 minus 5 is a negative 3. 4x minus 3x is just 1x, okay? So there's one answer. Then distribute this negative. 3x plus 2 equals negative 4x minus 5. Solve that. Add the 4x, add the 4x. You get 7x plus 2 equals negative 5. Take away the 2. So 7x equals negative 7. You still with me? Am I going too fast? We're okay? Okay, so divide by 7, and then our x will be negative 1. Okay, but like I said, when you have variables on both sides, thank you, Diego. I'm assuming they're both for you. When we have the variables on both sides like this, we got to check to see if we have any extraneous solutions. So we're going to do the original equation again, plugging in a negative 3. So it would be the absolute value of 3 times negative 3 plus 2 equals 4 times negative 3 plus 5. Okay, simplify that. This is negative 9 plus 2. So negative 9 plus 2 is a negative 7 absolute valued. And then 4 times a negative 3 is a negative 12 plus 5. What's negative 12 plus 5?
7. Negative 7.
Negative 7. Is the absolute value of negative 7 negative 7?
No.
No. Okay? This is not true. So that is an extraneous solution. Right? That one doesn't work. Negative 3 doesn't work. Check if negative 1 does. So you have the absolute value of 3 times negative 1 plus 2 equals 4 times negative 1 plus 5. This comes out to negative 3 plus 2. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Okay, so we're taking the absolute value of negative 1 equals negative 4 plus 5 is 1. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, 1 equals 1, right? That works out. That means your answer, your solution to this problem is x equals negative 1. You leave this guy off because he doesn't work. Okay, so most of the time with absolute value, you're gonna get two answers. But when we start doing the variables on both sides like this, there's usually a good chance there's an extraneous, okay? Questions on that? Okay, one more. And then we're done. So this one is absolute value of 5x minus 2 equals 7x plus 14. What do?
You write negative 7x minus 14 on another equation with 5x.
Would be your second equation, right? So 5x minus 2 equals 7x plus 14, and 5x minus 2 equals, and now here's, I don't need to see you show me the distribution of that. You're welcome to, but if you're putting a negative out in front, it's making both parts negative, right? Negative 7x minus 14. So if this was a minus, it's going to become a plus, right? Just be careful that you're making it the opposite of what it currently is, okay? Okay, so solve this. Take away 5x, take away 5x, you get 2x plus 14, and then negative 2. You're going to take away the 14, so negative 16 equals 2x, and then divide by 2, so x is negative 8. Okay? Then your second one, add the 7x, and you get 12x minus 2 equals negative 14. Add the 2. So 12x equals negative 12. Divide both sides by 12. So x equals negative 1. Okay, so you have negative 8 and you have negative 1. Plug them in and tell me if there's an extraneous. And while you do that, well, no, I'll just wait. You're supposed to be plugging this in. What? That's great. Now I want you to tell me the answer. Plug it in. What do we got? Is there an extraneous? Which one? The negative 8 is extraneous, right? If you plug this in here and here, you're going to get negative 40 minus 2. So the absolute value of negative 42. And then plug it in over here. Negative 56 plus 14 is negative 42. You cannot have absolute value equal to a negative. So this is extraneous. Okay, which means it's not an answer. Plug in a negative 1. 5 times, oh, over here, sorry. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5, minus 2 is negative 7. And then 7 times negative 1 is negative 7, plus 14 is a positive 7. That is true. So your answer is x equals negative 1. Okay, so ditch the extraneous. That is not an answer. I still want to see it. I still want to see your work on it, but don't circle it, box it. Just ditch it. Okay? That is it.